Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome to today's new episode. So today was a crazy day. I was listening to this Joe Rogan episode with Thomas Campbell, and I was like tweaking out, bro. I'm like, whoa, this is some crazy stuff going on here, bro. And then I look down, I see there's a new main event. Armin Sarukian hurts his back. I'm like, wow. I'm like, whoa, dude. What kind of freaking timeline are we in? Now, this brings up the topic of why I like Jiu-Jitsu. It feels like Jiu-Jitsu is just like that, where you don't even know where the match is going to go, but you're ready for it, if that makes sense. Like, you can't predict these things. And Joe Rogan, on a different podcast with Mark Zuckerberg, was kind of, actually on a different podcast with Theo Vaughn, was talking about how Jiu-Jitsu reveals who you really are. And it does kind of peel back the layers of the person, you know, when they're tired, when they're upset, when they have emotion, when they feel confident, when they feel discouraged. It's like it is something like that. And I do want to talk about that for a little bit just before we get ready to go train. And I feel like I have known more about myself than any kind of endeavor that I've really pursued, even with YouTube. YouTube and like just being out there in general in the world, you could kind of, play a role. You could like fit a character. You know what to say. You could word things better. But on the mat, bro, it's like you're exposed, and you got to know who you are, and you kind of develop yourself on the mat once you start training. Once you start, getting through some tough rounds, even just trying to learn a technique. You have to like sit through the process of learning, and it goes back to like school. Like sometimes when I don't understand a technique, I think of myself in like math class not understanding something, and just being the kid that's like, I don't understand it. And then I would think like, oh, I'm not gonna ask a question because I don't want to be the person who doesn't understand it. But now after going to school, now I'm the person who asks questions just to make sure, like, yo, am I on the right page here? Like sometimes like I need extra assistance. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I feel like I'm on it. Other days I'm like, bro, this is a different language, even though everybody else understands it. And that was the thing that I got discouraged the most about school. Like I was chilling first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of school, say college. I'm chilling. Like, oh yeah, cool. Like this is that intro. Oh, this is the assignments we're gonna do. And then there's this like one day, and it's with every class that I've taken. There's this one day where I feel left behind, bro. Like I felt like I was left in the dust. Everybody else knows what they're doing, and I'm out here looking at my paper. I'm like, yo, what do I do here? And I never took the time to put in extra effort to catch up. I was like, I kind of accepted my fate. And sometimes in jiu-jitsu, it's the same way, where you get to a certain spot and you just kind of accept where you are instead of instead of putting more time in, if that makes sense, to understand the process of it. So I just want to talk about that for a little bit. But crazy day. And I hope you guys are doing well. If you guys are watching this right now, you guys already know the end result. I'm hoping the picks are right. We picked Talbot. I didn't say who was going to win versus DDP. Not DDP. Who's going against Holland, bro? I don't know. I think Holland's not in the right mental space, bro, to be honest. He might win, but I think he might lose, to be honest. So I'm going against Holland with the other dude who's making his second UFC fight. He's coming from one championship. And then we got Talbot. We got Yuri Prohaska. He seems locked in, as always. And you guys know. We got Umar and then Mike Kondo. Now, if this was a freaking Vegas betting thing, this would be insane parlay. But maybe we'll talk about gambling in a different episode, but we're not doing that. So hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys enjoyed the fights. I know they're probably going to be insane. I'm hyped for it, but I'm also still kind of having to refocus myself because we're staying focused for our competition as well. I know I could get lost in the sauce sometimes and focus on other things instead of just focusing on training and recovery. And but it was a crazy day, bro. I was listening to this Thomas Campbell podcast while I was working earlier today.
The Buddha says, all of this, it's Maya, it's an illusion. He says illusion, I say virtual reality.
And I'm like, all right, bro, I need a nap or something, bro. There's too much information right now. And then we took a nap, and now we feel a little bit better. Now we're getting ready for some no-gi training. Let's go, boy. Let's go. right, homies, we out. Good no-gi training session. I think this is my second no-gi class, like under Gracie Baja. I went with my brother a few times. I think I went twice with my bro. And it's sick, dude. It's sick. Lots of wrestling. It's pretty much wrestling with submissions. And we have no wrestling background, so it's like we have to learn from step one. And I'm seeing it from like a different point of view. Like a lot of people try to translate gi with no gi. I just think it's just different. I think it has to be in a little bit of a different mindset. But this is just my take personally. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm just thinking like it's different. You know, when you have a gi, you can get a collar, get a sleeve. That's kind of like a checkpoint. But with no gi, it's like this goes here, this slips over there. Next second, you're flying in the air. So it's just like, okay. So this has got to be something else. But I do want to start implementing more of that. So if you guys have any no-gi advice, or just when it comes to training gi and no-gi at the same time, let me know what works for you. But besides that, freaking pumped up for these fights, bro. Pumped up, bro. Pumped up. But let's freaking go, man. Let's freaking go. I really want to see what Khabib's got in his corner, what they got planned out for Islam, just because Renato is completely different from Arman. Arman's, you know, a wrestler, a grappler. He's good with takedowns, defensive takedowns, but Mike Kanu, he's a freaking dog all around, bro. Jiu-Jitsu, not really a wrestler. There's going to be lots of stand-up strikes, knees, kicks, crosses, jabs, uppercuts, the whole nine. So I'm hyped up for that, and freaking hope everything goes out well. So freaking hyped up. I keep on saying I'm hyped up. I'm just really excited, bro. I've really been into the UFC. I haven't been into a sport in a long time, but I feel like the reason people like the UFC so much is because it's real, you know? I know a lot of people see it as violent because it really is, but it's just like you can't predict what's going to happen. And with most sports, you really can't predict what's going to happen, but you kind of have a general idea how it's going to go. Say if it's football, you're going to get a couple first downs, maybe a field goal, touchdown. This, you have no idea, bro. You get a knockout, you get freaking all these different kinds of submissions, TKOs, decisions. You know, some people get knocked out the freaking first 30 seconds, and then some fights go all the way to the decision. So it's like you can't really see what's going to happen in the future. I think that's why it's so entertaining. Plus, you got the fans behind these people, and it's really just one person. And it's really just a showcase of who wants it, and that's why I think it's so popular, because it's real. You know, it's not rigged in a way where it's like you already know what's gonna happen, what's gonna win. No WWE stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. I had fun training, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's episode. We out.